I don't know about you, but every time I look at this album cover, it makes me think of the game series Uncharted. Like this should be some kind of hidden treasure or some kind of monster from that series. God, I miss playing video games, but gotta do what I gotta do to make content, eh? What's up, everyone? It's your boy, Matt Diazabo, coming at you with some new music reviews. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming on by. If you're new to the channel, extra thank you for coming by and finding my channel. Thank you. You're the best. Like, subscribe, and comment if you want. Or not. Yeah. Today I'm checking out a band called Bleed From Within with their latest album, Zenith. If you've never heard about this band, Bleed From Within is a death metal band. Yeah, they were a deathcore band, but have slowly moved into death metal territory, melodic death metal, especially with this latest record, and have been a band since about, I want to say 2008, 2007. I discovered them around that time. Oh, I forgot. They're from Glasgow, UK. Totally forgot. But yeah, I discovered this band probably around 09, 2010, probably 2009, when they don't even put it out there on their streaming services, and it's like their older stuff, their deathcore stuff, called Servants of Divinity on their album Humanity. Yeah, I remember like touring this band's music way back in the day, and I think what caught my eye about this band, somehow, some way, I discovered them, and I remember seeing them. I was like, oh, this guy looks like Ollie Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon. And I thought the band sounded kind of similar to older Bring Me the Horizon, and I felt like their earlier albums, that what was it, Humanity, Empire, it made me feel like if Bring Me the Horizon kept going deathcore, this is the band they could have been. And then it's funny how this band was always like a heavy deathcore band. Even them, they've evolved into more melodic stuff similar to Bring Me the Horizon. So I always thought that was very funny parallels between these two bands. So this band, Bleed From Within, they've always thrived on blending, brutality with polish. But this latest album, Zenith, pushes the Scottish metal juggernauts into new and sometimes unexpected territories. And while earlier records, like I said, kind of like cemented the band more in like deathcore roots, this album seems to move the band into like more modern metalcore and even some progressive metal at times, with the occasional flash of death metal grit still lurking underneath everything. And so the results are, you get a very big, ambitious, and undeniably heavy record, even if not every experimental thing they're doing on here hits the same way. And from the very beginning of this record, they do a really good job of establishing size and gravity with their music. Tracks like Violent Nature and In Place of Your Halo really highlight the band's evolution. Riffs that once raced with death metal urgency now pulse with more gent-like throb and slower execution, while the addition of choir-like textures, bagpipes, and layers of ambiance really, well, not ambiance, but ambience, add to the whole overall cinematic depth of this record. The aggression from the band hasn't really disappeared. Mainly the vocals remain harsh and very commanding like ever, and the drums are still thunderous with a lot of authority to them. But the overall tone of the music kind of aims for more arena style playing than like small DIY basement shows. And the title track on this album, Zenith, stands as a statement piece. It's a reminder that Bleed From Within hasn't completely abandoned their, extreme metal roots, with some really ripping riffs, guttural growls, and a very ritualistic and haunting outro that ranks among probably some of the most striking moments on this record. Elsewhere on the record, songs like God Complex and Chained to Hate kind of embrace that whole stadium size metalcore and thrashy twangy ferocity that the band has leaned into, offering really big hooks and crushing breakdowns that just ask a lot for crowd participation. But this album, Zenith, is also very interested in mood and textures as it is brute force. Songs like Dying Sun and Hope in Hell kind of pull it back a little bit into slower, more brooding territory, driven by some atmospheric riffing and layered vocals. While not every softer experimental song fully lands, prime example is the song Immortal Desire with, a feature from Mastodon's own Brann Dailor, which feels a little bit disjointed, and the chorus is just a weird like metal fusion that just doesn't land that well. The attempt at pushing boundaries shows that the band is willing to evolve and take these risks. By contrast, Hands of Sin with Josh Middleton prove how guest appearances can elevate a track. With sharp interplay between guttural roars, clean conviction, and standout bass and drum dynamics. And the record closes with the song Edge of Infinity, which, the song starts off with a lot of promise because they bring in some acoustic guitars and pianos to lead into a very grand and cinematic quality to it before slipping into more conventional territory of metal riff. Still, it leaves, the album on a reflective note because it's a reminder that Bleed From Within, are reaching for something larger than just riff versus heaviness and trying to make something that's a little bit bigger, more ambitious. So kudos for them for trying something different. Zenith is a turning point for Bleed From Within. Less about, relentless deathcore ferocity and more about building an expansive modern metal sound that blends groove, atmosphere, and I think probably most notable, accessibility. At its best, like on songs Zenith, Dying Sun, Hands of Sin, it feels massive, mature, and ambitious. At its weakest, it can feel a little bit overproduced and a bit too safe at times. But whether you're here for, the riffs, the choruses, or the experimentation, one thing's clear: Bleed From Within are swinging for the fences, and they've delivered an album that is built for bigger stages. So overall, this latest album from Bleed From Within, I would have to give it a decent and okay 7 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this album, what deathcore, death metal, groovy metal bands I should check out, or any musician I should check out. Leave it down below. And until next time, guys, see you in the pit.